All right. So already we about to make this the best night tonight because already there's things thrown at us that didn't want me to record this live on YouTube. Thank you, technology. But that's all right because there's always a plan B. And no matter what, this is going to get out to people that want to watch it. And so I'm just really, really grateful that I have great friends that think outside of the box to help me out when I'm having a moment. So um, this is week number 2 of our Cultivate Joy Speaker Series. And this series is happening during Lent with the purpose to really provide inspiration and encouragement to those in the Lent season. Lenten is a time for reflection and dedicating ourselves back to God leading up to Easter. And so for 7 weeks, we are taking different areas of our lives to, hear 20 minutes of a quick inspiration, encouragement, devotional that you can use during this season and beyond. And so last week was a devotional and encouragement around family. And this week, it is around finances. And I'm so, so, so excited to have someone that literally is near and dear to my heart with us tonight. Lizzie is someone that actually got me into this whole being a part of social media, creating a YouTube channel. I was just got married, was thinking, well, not necessarily just got married, but was starting and really trying to nail down what my budgeting routine and system looked like. And I was on YouTube, watching other YouTubers, and to find someone like Naturally Lizzie come up on my search and really just make budgeting fun and make budgeting easy, and a personality that like literally captivates you from the moment you either see her picture or hear her talking. And that kind of got me into creating a YouTube channel for my own budgeting style. And so when I thought of someone that was going to talk about finances, Lizzie was the first person that came to mind, because not only is finances something that's really important to her, but also faith, and having faith in budgeting and faith in finances is something that is near to and dear to her heart as well. And so I had to have Lizzie with us. And so I quickly want to just read the bio of Lizzie. Let me just bring it up because, listen, we got to shout and give ourselves some flowers while we can. And so let me bring it up. All right, so Lizzie is starting sharing budgeting tips since 2018 in hopes to help families and find freedom in their finances. And it's been a ride, as she says. Passionate about giving a simple and clear understanding of how to create a budget, and working with your family needs, and really helping to not make financial help and financial budgeting dreadful, and finding the fun in doing that and creating a budgeting system that works for her and others. So I'm going to turn it over to Lizzie for some time of just encouragement and inspiration, and then I'll come back at the end. So make sure you got your notepad next to you and jot down some things. But again, thank you so much, Lizzie, for taking the time to spend with us in this second week of this devotional series.
I'm so excited. Thank you. It is crazy to think that this all started from 2018 when I just said, you know what? There's not, there's a lot of information out there, but sometimes it doesn't always apply. And so I'm like, you know what? Why not me? Just share my journey, our journey of debt freedom. And so with this financial part, and to give a tidbit, because we don't have a whole lot of time, but a tidbit of ways that you can apply um, finances. It doesn't matter like what income level or anything like that. I have learned from a lot of different experts, and I've kind of taken bits and pieces and morphed it into something that I think is just a simple process. Um, and that's living off of, I believe in living off of percentages. This is a simple process just because it doesn't matter how much you make. You can just allocate based on your needs, your family's needs. Um, One of them, the top one for me, is to make sure that I am tithing. That is a you know, a personal belief. Again, everything here is personal. Personal finance is personal. So tithing, 10% of what your income is. Now, what do you do with the rest? You obviously have to take care of your responsibilities, the bills, your day-to-day variable spending. And so I would suggest aiming to live off of 70% of what your income is, or 80, just as a general basis. It depends on what each individual family and household requires and what their bills look like. So based on that, you can budget 80% for your living, so your bills, groceries, you know, gas, things that come up, what's leaving your bank account or your wallet. And then the last piece is, what is your goal? Many people in this world, we have debt. We have made impulse decisions and we swipe that credit card, or whatever the case is. Something happened and you had to use. So I'm not shaming those that have credit card debt or any, because I'm one who has gotten back into debt after we've paid it off. So I understand that life and things happen, and sometimes you have to make those decisions. That isn't obviously what you want. You don't want to be in debt. I know you don't want to have all of these bills pile up. I know it's a burden, but I'm telling you, there's a way out. I'm telling you, and I'm reminding you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep on trucking on, focus on your lane and your lane alone, not look to the person to the left or to the right of you, not compare yourself to people that are posting on the internet like myself. Don't compare yourself to anyone, because your walk is your walk. No one else's. So just some encouragement there. So focus on your goal. If your goal is to become debt free, which I hope it is, you will allocate that remaining percentage towards that, or putting it towards savings, putting it towards an emergency fund. That way you will have that cushion, so that way you don't have to use a credit card. So again, just a quick summary, either living off of 70% or 80% of what your income is. That goes towards all your bills, variable spending, cash envelopes if you're a cash budgeter, tithing, 10%, and whatever the difference is will be for your goal. So whether it be 70%, you'll do 20% for your goal, or 10% if you live off of 80. Breaking things down in this manner, let me tell you why this is so simple, because anyone can do it. Seeing this number and actually seeing what that percentage number is, you're going to realize what you can cut back on. It's going to be hard. I understand that there are certain things that we think is a need, but is it really? So it's just something that you can actually revisit and see um, what sacrifices you can make. You know, it's for a short period of time, honestly, for you to reach the goal of becoming debt free, or for you to reach the goal of having a fully funded emergency fund, of paying for that need. You have to get a car, your car is about to break down, you know, you only have a year left on that car. Listen, I have old cars, so I know the struggle. So it's saving for those things. That way it's going to set you up for success in the end. And I always get this question, Lizzie, somebody who has debt, you have debt, why would you tithe? So I understand that there's different beliefs in this, and people can look at this in different ways. But as somebody who has tithed since I started working, I've been married for 11 years. So the 11 years of me being married, we've tithed. And in doing so, you can just sometimes the math, it doesn't make sense. And I love hearing stories. I love hearing like testimonies of 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 how this applies. And so I'm going to share, I have a few, but I'm going to share one that stands out to me. Um, we were living in Florida. So quick background, if you don't know, I lived in Florida for 6 years. We moved from New York to Florida, lived there for 6 years, and now we are back in New York. Okay, so quick summary. Yeah, I know, crazy. Why would we do that? Again, it's personal.
Good reasons, though. Good reasons.
Yeah, family is everything. And so uh with us living in Florida, there was a time where stuff was a little tight, and the math of what was coming in and what was going out, it was not looking pretty. We had money in our savings, so thankfully we had set ourselves up for, you know, success, that we had access to funds to pay certain bills on some weeks. There was one week where we were short $400 on a to cover a bill. And I remember praying that morning and saying, God, I don't know how we're going to do this. I'm going to take this from the savings. Thank God it's there. Thank you. But I wish, that this could not have happened. I don't want to have to access this. And so we pay the bill, transferred it from the savings account. And lo and behold, my husband comes home that evening and he's holding a check. Just take a wild guess of how much that check was for.
$400.
$400. So to see this verse, I'm going to say a verse, um, Philippians 4:19, my God shall supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. According to his riches. So God is the one that is the owner of the silver and the gold. That is my belief. I understand that there's many people who are learning or hearing information about faith in, the Bible and all of that, but that is in itself is just, how is it possible that that same day I said this prayer in my mind, didn't tell no one, and all of a sudden an exact figure of what we were lacking was given to us when we didn't ask for it. That's God's provision. So that is something of why we give, because when we give, we receive tenfold. And that's just sharing a matter of, yes, it can be monetary, but then it can't. It doesn't have to be. He can supply in different ways, having access to people, having people come into your life to educate you and uplift you, getting connected within job opportunities. I mean, there was a question. I was reading a devotion earlier in the week, and one of the questions said, who better able to meet my needs, God or me?
Mm.
Not me,
No.
because I made a mess out of our financial situation. I mean, we are in debt, and that was for choices, decisions, things that had happened. But we're moving on. We're working towards becoming better at what are the triggers that is causing us to go over a certain spending amount. It could be emotional. It can be, you're feeling sad. I want to make myself feel better, so let me go to the store and get myself something. Or not wanting to cook at home because you don't have that in you, you don't like it. And so let's go out to eat and let's, you know, that is a struggle.
Yes.
That is something that it comes easy to others, but it doesn't for me. And because of that, we have accumulated other costs in going out to eat and this and that and the other. Um, so I just want to encourage you, if you are feeling like you are suffocating and that you are that slave to the lender, you're the one that, because I mean that's in the Bible too, you know. There is an ending to this. It just means for you to just take it one day at a time, one step at a time, make a plan, and you got this. I mean, you got this. You can totally do this. Focus on what what your needs are. Again, the hard thing is about the world that we live in is we have access to so much. Okay. And there is, again, a lot of that comparison. I did it. I compared myself to so many people on the internet of everybody posts when they're on vacation and you're wanting to be on vacation too. Everyone, you know, shares the highlights and all of this, which is wonderful. There's no wrong in doing that, but if you consume that so much and you start envying and you start wanting that, it can trigger, you know, you thinking of going on a trip where you might not have access to that
Mhm.
financially, and it might be not a wise decision for you to make that move, go on that trip, put it on a credit card because of why you want to post it on the internet to share it to the world. Like, I don't know. Um, but I don't know how much time I just spoke. Maybe was that 20 minutes? We're good.
If you have anything else to share, this was awesome.
Well, I could talk some more, but I got like
This is great. This is good.
that's simple, like not, it's just with this world, especially with the financial like hardships that's been happening, inflation, all of that, the struggle, it's hard. And so we gotta we gotta see what we can change, like here,
Yeah.
habit, all of that.
Yep.
And you can make it better. You can change. You are capable. God gave us the wisdom. We're smart. We're not,
And
you
if we
know.
don't know, there's people out there that do know. What I will say is, do your research. And if you don't know, find someone that aligns with kind of your situation or your budgeting style. Or, some people, there's so many different methods out there. So there's the, percentages, there's the zero-based budget. There's methods out there that will get you ultimately to the same goal, but you kind of have to figure out what's going to be best for you. And
Exactly.
so definitely make sure that you do that own research, but also pray about it. Like pray about your finances, like have a real conversation about like where you're at and where you want to go. My motto in my own personal budgeting journey was create the goal, make a plan, create the goal, make a plan, and execute. Like be focused on what you really want to do. If it's paying off debt, like let's
Yeah.
focused on that. If it's saving, let's get focused on that and like let's make the changes to help you to the goal, right? If you want to pay off debt, great. But if you're still doing the same stuff that you've been doing that isn't making any changes, then like that's where you really need to sit down and reflect. And I hope during this season of Lent, when we're thinking of, this reflection and like use this time to really identify like what's that goal that you want for your finances and then really work towards doing that. And naturally Lizzie is Lizzie's YouTube channels and walks you through her budgeting system. On my channel there's my videos as well, so definitely if this is something that you're really wanting to dive deeper in, there's you can do it. You can definitely do it. And there's people out there that'll be more than happy to help, whether it's myself. Naturally, Lizzie's Instagram and YouTube channel. My Be Find Joy is both as well. So feel free. Like, we love sharing and helping. That's, I think, our mission as well, is like, not only are we doing this for ourselves, but we want to make sure that we're using our own financial journey to help bless others as well. So thank you so much, Lizzie, for coming and sharing these great nuggets. I always do a little recap of, living off percentages, 10% to tithes, 70% for your income, using that for your bills, your variable expenses, and then 20% to your goals, savings or debt. Or if you might have to 80% in one, and then you might have to shift it around depending on what your needs are. And then just having that mindset of like not comparing yourself or your own situation to anyone else, but just being very looking at your own situation and making a plan based on your own situation and having that conversation with God. Like, I need help. God says, if we ask, like, you have not if you ask not, right? Like, so ask God to help reveal and give you that wisdom to help you in this area of your life. Not only finances, in all those areas, but specifically right now in the finance area. So I'm going to say a quick prayer and then I'll let y'all go. So, dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to come together and just have this speaker series. Dear God, there were the things that were happening that would have ended up not having this devotional tonight, but I thank you for plan Bs. I thank you for the opportunity that for other ways to still get this message out and to be a blessing to others. As those that are thinking about their own finances, I pray that you kind of give them, not kind of, but I pray that you give them direction. I pray that any feeling of just frustration or anger or confusion, or I pray that you just give them the wisdom to help them wherever they are at with their finances and to use those around them to be a support as much as they can. So I thank you. I pray many blessings of everyone that are watching this video and watching this series. And in your name we pray, amen. And if you want to follow along on the series, there's a guidebook and there are daily scriptures. If you go onto my Instagram, which is Be Find Joy, in the link tree. So in my profile, if you click on the link, the Cultivate Joy guidebook will be there ready to go. And every day for the next week, it'll be scriptures about finances. And then next week, the topic is, let's see, the topic is freedom to do the things that you are passionate about. If you have a vision and you need help with trying to get that vision, a passion, or thing that brings you joy, and you want to see that kind of follow through in different ways, Erica is going to be talking to us and giving us some helpful tips and techniques to make that happen. So thank you again, Lizzie, and everyone have a good night. See ya. Bye-bye.